Yo, what is up, YouTube? So today we're going to take a look at an article that came out on LinkedIn recently, and it's titled Fed Up Junior Bankers Flee Goldman. So let's just jump right in. It says that Goldman Sachs has been hit with a wave of departures, sources tell Business Insider and the New York Post. Both outlets report that a half dozen junior bankers left the investment bank's healthcare desk in the past week, citing frustration with lower than expected bonuses, and a pressure cooker environment. In addition, at least 5 other associates left the same desk in recent months, Insider writes. Goldman's bonuses were high in 2021 thanks to record deal making, but this year the bank is reportedly looking to cut costs as the pace of deals slows substantially. And it says here, while some turnover is common after banks pay out bonuses, the coordinated effort is unusual. And underscores the resentment and animosity many analysts feel toward the bank, sources told the Post. And it looks like there's other posts that people have made in response to this article. But just kind of my initial reaction to bankers leaving Goldman Sachs. So for those of you guys that don't know, Goldman Sachs is probably one of the most premier investment banks that are out there. Between JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and a few of the other ones. Before the whole Wall Street collapse, I think there were a lot more, including Bear Stearns, that were doing pretty well. Analysts, associates, and everyone in between were making fat paychecks. They were getting 5-6-figure bonuses every year. And of course, when things went to shit, a lot of that went down. Now, in 2022, things aren't looking too good right now. Do I think we're going to have another type of 2008, 2009 Wall Street collapse? I'm not sure. But definitely the frequency, the volume, and the size of the deals that a lot of investment banks get involved in, where they get these fat fees, have definitely gone down. So it's no surprise that bonuses are low. But it is interesting how junior bankers are leaving Goldman. From what I can tell from my business school years, and then also just knowing other bankers and people who've worked in the finance industry, Goldman has a pretty stellar reputation. A lot of the famous people who work in government, who work at the White House or go off into corporate gigs, a lot of them have Goldman on their resume. A lot of the people who I've met personally that have worked at Goldman or some of these big investment banks, they're sharp folks. And so a lot of the tangible and intangible things that you pick up at a place like Goldman are going to help later on down the road. But it sounds like a lot of these junior bankers are either just quitting and starting their own thing or switching companies or just taking a break. And I don't blame them. The other thing to consider is that, for most people who work in investment banking, the hours are pretty bad. I think I know a couple of different associates who went to banking right after business school, and they would tell me that 60 to 70, 80-hour weeks are pretty much normal. And there's just a lot of high pressure from the higher ups, including the VPs, the managing directors, to get things done very quickly. They have a very high expectation in terms of turnaround. And so if you don't get on the ball, then you can get in big trouble, or your bonus is definitely going to take an impact. To me, what's interesting about this is that even with this economy and a lot of companies starting to lay folks off, a lot of these junior bankers are still saying, hey, to hell with it. It's not worth it. I don't want to deal with this pressure cooker environment and get a much smaller bonus than expected. And so that is interesting. And who knows, maybe these junior bankers have gotten note that these banks are planning to do layoffs. And so they're sort of just being proactive and leaving before they get the axe. Who knows? I don't think Goldman's going to be either the first or the last big investment bank where they're going to start losing people. I do know that a lot of people who do go into banking typically don't stay there that long. Most people get the experience, make some money, and then get it on their resume. And then they typically go off and either do consulting, they might start their own company, or they might pivot into tech where they can find a job with better work-life balance. But looks like Goldman is losing some key talent here, and they may need to rethink their culture and just the way they treat their employees. But cutting bonuses is definitely not going to help with that. So best of luck to these junior bankers. I'm sure having Goldman on your CV is definitely going to help you guys find jobs out there. So I'm not too worried about it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that banks need to do a better job to retain their talent? We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.